push the door, it would sort of open by itself. It didn't really save me a lot of time, but it seemed to work.
And I remember making, with my older brother, we actually made a tape recorder. We were actually able to record things on it and play it back. It was pretty amazing. I actually had no idea what I was doing at the time, but you know, you got to start somewhere.
We have people talking about, we have someone who built a MakerBot, which is a 3D printer. You put in a plan and it prints things in plastic in 3D.
Actually, it takes in ABS filament and heats it up and extrudes it through a nozzle, and you end up with parts like this.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I don't know Mollywood.
You said it only cost $300 to make?
Something like that.
You can buy a kit. That was not
Well, a guy in America used a MakerBot to print an engagement ring for his girlfriend using 2 different kinds of plastic. It goes around the ring finger and it has
I know, right?
plastic bottom here.
What the fuck is this?
What she doesn't say is that
So, hackerspaces are much more romantic than using fake things.
No. She said yes.
It melted to her finger.
Give an
And
answer.
got together not long after the hackerspace started. But it wasn't just because of the hackerspace, and it's not just because he knows how to use a MakerBot. But I'd be really insulted if you proposed to me with a MakerBot ring that somebody else designed. I would at least want you to put in an effort and design it yourself.
On the weekend I come here and I basically interact with other people, and that's what I really enjoy about this, the community atmosphere, especially because I work at home a lot of the time on stuff myself. Coming here and working with other people, seeing what they're doing, giving them suggestions about how to do things, and just being inspired by other people. It's great.
there's a lot of things I'd like to build that I don't even come close to knowing enough about. Never written any software or any of that programming side of it, and there's heaps of programming people here, and people like Keen and Gav who have done a lot of both.
It's very much about pulling knowledge together so that everyone can benefit and everyone can learn about things. Learning, I think, is the driving force behind a hackerspace. Understanding how anything works, looking at projects that other people have done, coming together to share the knowledge that we have.
The biggest benefit of the hackerspace is not the actual space itself, although that's really cool. It's the community.
I could be sitting at home in my room soldering something, or I could be talking to people who are passionate, talking to people who have ideas, and I can be improving my own knowledge and getting ideas for new projects from other people who think like I do.
I think if you went to any hackerspace in the world, they'd welcome you with open arms.
Excellent. How'd you like that one? What was that?
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it kind of describes a little bit more. Oh, Jesus. There we go. So, I have my own idea, of course. Everyone has their own ideas, but this is just some things I was thinking about. What would my ideal hackerspace be like? You know, I'd have lockers for storing my equipment, tools, and projects in. I'd have a workspace for soldering, taking things apart. You know, the stuff that you would have in your own room, except you'd have to start searing stuff off and things like that. And hopefully putting them back together eventually. Having a community chest of tools that you can use instead of having to have your own stuff, in a sense. Because not everyone's going to have all the tools necessary to build something. Obviously I don't. You know, in essence, like a chop saw or anything like that. I'm not going to have that in my own house or apartment, but you'd be able to come here and use them as community tools. A community library where you can donate and read books based on whatever you want. Have a little quiet room that's dedicated to people who want to read stuff and discuss things, working on school projects or work projects. Community parks have a whole room just for stuff to use. People bring in stuff, leftover stuff, just put them on this big shelf. You know, and all the nuts and bolts that you need, all the screws that you need, right there for you to take and use and put back. Our council is for having formal-ish meetings. I'm not that big on formal stuff, as in like suit and tie stuff, but it'd be cool to have a place where you can get, you know, maybe the Linux user group can use to have their meetings at, things like that, just a place to meet, maybe even have the AITS stuff there. A sound room for people who are into sound, because not all techs are into hardware. Some people like sound. Have a room filled with, I think, egg cartons, I think was the pretty good standard. And just have it filled with egg cartons. This way you can get great sound out of it. A bathroom is a must, with a possible shower, if we can do that. A community kitchen where we can bake stuff and make cookies, maybe. to reseat, you know, put video cards in the oven to reseat the solder and things like that. But also to, yeah, that's the way I think. I've heard of it done once, and I heard apparently it worked.
Is that what happens with the an Xbox 360 when they wrap it in the towel?
Yeah, I heard about that. Reset it.
Yeah.
They do what?
That's weird.
They wrap
you
it
get
in
the
a towel
red
to make it overheat so it resets.
Yeah, the
I don't
easier
know
way
why.
is just to pull it apart, pull off the heat sink off the
That's what I did
GPU
yesterday
and put some new thermal paste on it.
Yeah,
But
but you know, have a communication this way. You can eat good. I mean, just not all fast food. Make it an actual community space, and get a media room where we could watch movies or just, you know, play video games in. Make it an awesome part, and parties, because nothing's better than parties, right?
with kegs and stuff.
With cakes and stuff, except for the younger folks. That
A kegerator?
kegerator.
we can
Let's
make
make a
a
kegerator.
We can
Something
make
that
a refrigerator.
You can make one with
Yeah,
your
exactly.
3D printer.
That is a genius idea.
Make it still. No, we still are on.
Yeah, we make kegerators here.
Booyah.
But I mean, you can do
Plastic
that
ones.
because it's like whatever you want to do, basically. I mean, as long as it's
You
legal.
make a
of course.
kegerator, you can sneak on an airplane.
There you go. That's awkward. That's nothing in my pants, sir. It's just a kegerator.
Just a little
Or like
But I mean,
blow out
the
some
possibilities
tanks
are
and
endless. I
beer in
mean,
it.
obviously, you guys are thinking about it already. So,
How many people do you need?
I need at least 14. 4 people to be the base 4. Of course, to come up with the idea, to come up with the theme and everything like that. And then 10 more people to be
To live there.
to live there.
10 guys on the couch.
Well, because it takes time, it takes money. And so if you get 10 people who are really dedicated and really like the idea, of course, me, if I was one of those 4, I'd be paying as well, those monthly dues. But you need 10 people who are interested to get it lifted off the ground, because those 10 people know a lot more geeks. And a lot more people who'd want to have a space to be able to work in.
Well,
So
10
that's
people.
where the 10 people come in.
Well, if there's 10 people and everyone puts in $100,
That's $1,000 right there.
Then the other
But if we have
4
14 people, that's $75 that each person needs to put in. If we get 20 people, that's $50 we need to put in there. And any extra money goes back into the hackerspace to improve stuff, to get better tools, and get bigger space eventually. I know this one person, they had 1 floor of a house, and they were able to put 50 people in there. It was insane. It was in Japan, of course. But nonetheless, it was still, it's one of those community things. And so I'm going to have, I already drawn up the draft for the hackerspace. I'm going to post it tonight. I have a form in there. And if we get enough people, then you can bet your ass that I'm going to get on it and get it going. I also need more volunteers for teaching. Just putting it out there. So people to basically do an open lab, to where people just walk in and sit on a computer.
We charge low amounts of money to do it too. What was on Craigslist? Some type of like work. What's it called?
Work compensation?
Oh, work.
Work for lease?
No, what are they called? Like they got them all over the place for like art stuff.
Tutors?
It's work. It's basically just some chick come in. It's a
Workshop.
workshop. There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah,
Workshop.
exactly.
$5, something like
Yeah,
that.
that's exactly one of my other plans for how to make money, how to finance this hackerspace and make it cheaper for us, or to get stuff that we want. Because obviously, in the New York City Resistor hackerspace, they have a laser cutter. I would love a laser cutter. How about you guys?
What do you mean by laser cutter?
Meaning that you can make your own fan drills for your computer. You can laser cut things.
Are you talking about a?
Sick.
Like a servo laser cutter. Like, you know, those laser,
Yeah, it cuts
seeing, like,
cannons. Make a Think of a lightsaber.
Kind of that grill from like.
Yes, exactly. It uses lasers to cut out pieces for whatever you want.
Out of metal, right?
What?
Aluminum? Or is
Anything
it?
you want. It will cut wood.
What about plasma cutter? No.
No, this is laser.
Laser.
It's a laser. There's open source
like
laser cutters that you
Plasma
can use.
Cutter 2010.
There you go. There's open source one that you can make, but that'd be kind of cool to have.
There's this website. I have it bookmarked at home, but it's a website of projects like spy stuff. How you can take a
Well,
xylophone.
Instructables
and
is a great website
Yeah.
as well.
I've seen one on one of those lasers. What you need to do is you get a regular laser pointer. I don't think it totally cut any stuff.
No, I
but
think you might get
a
a
Radio Shack
DVD
mix
burner.
up.
A Blu-ray player. I've seen one with the Blu-ray.
Blu-ray players are sick. Those hurt. By the way. But some of the details that I have is that the cost. Yes, everything costs money. There is a monthly membership for this, but there are ways that I'm going to discuss later to reduce that cost. But
You're not supposed to directly at the laser.
but
Gold and a platinum membership, or
no, there's just gonna be a membership.
Somebody
But
that
if you
can't see
teach a
it.
class or something, that membership will go down because of you're bringing in money.
I gotta go
That's
to
fine.
a ceremony.
All right.
See you guys.
Yep. Thank you.
See you fellas.
Are you gonna tell them
Wait a
about the senior center?
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
No, that's cool.
Look forward to
nice meeting
reading
It's
the
good
rest
meeting you.
of this
Hopefully I've
presentation.
it was all good.
See you later.
See you later. But I'm sure there'll be some free beer in there because open source is all about free as in free beer. I'm sure there'll be some free beer. The benefits is that you get 24/7 access to a space that you can utilize for whatever you need. The hours of operation 24/7. I mean, you have to just keep repeating it. The cake is alive, by the way. Just putting it out there. There are, of course, rules like against theft, against certain things that you can and can't do. Obviously, you can't make a 20-foot flamethrower, but you can make a 10-foot flamethrower.
How can you ensure somebody's gonna be there 24/7, or is everybody gonna get a key to this place?
Biometrics. You gotta have
Biometrics, exactly what I was thinking. You can buy
Sick.
door locks.
You can make that.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I think. I was at the when I was
with your 3D printer.
Last weekend I was in a Home Depot or Lowe's, one of those, both basically the same thing. I saw the biometric door openers. I was thinking about doing something like that, but eventually, if you get enough people, there are gonna be people there night and day, and so. And then I was thinking about also getting cards, so it would log your hours.
You'd have to have security cameras for sure.
Absolutely, and that's all
Yeah,
things
they got a sick system in Costco right now for not that much.
And of course, it's all a work in progress, so eventually it will be worked out to where you have a key card where you just scan it, it
Make
lets
sure
you
this
in.
place is insured, like.
Something like this.
Something like that, exactly.
It's a
Where
R-
you can
it
just-
has an RF tag in it.
Yeah, and so your hours are logged, when you came in, when you left, and it will log everything like that.
Or just put it in the door. As soon as you walk through, it's gonna tag you. It's gonna be sick.
Damn, what the hell?
Just
shoot
embed
you
it-
with a
embed
little
chip
dart.
in everybody's
Exactly, because I can do that. Yeah, no.
everybody's temple.
That'd be pretty cool.
I was
though.
actually thinking about
It's like
But there'll be.
it's painless.
RF.
Of course, there's going to be a couple rules like that, but I mean, it's going to be pretty free, as in, what you can do.
Putting microchips.
Events, we're going to have lots of events, as in like open days where you don't have to be a member to come in and have, as in an open event thing. I don't know what I forgot.
Can we
The
get
open house. Thank you.
can we get glass blind equipment?
Can we get what?
Glass blind equipment?
Hey, I'm probably getting it with my dividend, dude.
If only if the lease supported it. But if we got big enough, definitely, absolutely.
He must know a glass
Do it
blower.
outside.
Yeah, I wonder where we could find one of those. But we can have Linux parties. We can have all sorts of parties, all sorts of events. It's really up to us to raise money and to have some of these events for free, of course, because I am definitely open to the open source thing. So I like having things to be free, as in free beer, and anything else that we want. I think that was all the slides. Any questions? Yeah, I love this. By the way, someone give you a moment to read that.
Did you get that at I Can Ask Cheeseburger?
No, I got that off Google, which is probably off of cheeseburger.